Thank you, John. Thanks a lot to the organizer for giving me the opportunity to be here today. What I would like to do in my presentation is to provide an overview of UNICEF work for the collection, compilation, and analysis of data on early childhood development. I was very pleased to see that a few of the presenters before me used the data that UNICEF produced or made reference to what UNICEF has done methodologically or also for the analysis of the data. So I would like to have an opportunity to go a little bit deeper and provide you information on what exactly we do in the area of data collection and data analysis. Let me start by giving you a little bit of information on our main data collection instrument. UNICEF supported multiple indicator cluster survey. These are, it's an household survey program that was designed by UNICEF to support country in the collection of data on children and women, specifically in low and middle income countries, to allow these countries to collect the evidence that is needed to plan for planning purposes, policy support purposes, advocacy purposes. But obviously this is a global good that UNICEF is providing. What we do actually is we support the data collection in the country and we support the analysis, compilation of the data. These are not UNICEF surveys. These are surveys that UNICEF support in low and middle income countries. I will give you a little bit of more information later on how we do that. But it's a very important point that we care about. It's not about a single organization going to countries, collecting data and taking the data away. It's building capacity and ownership through support in terms of capacity building, development of tools, etc. The surveys being developed by UNICEF covers more than 100 indicators, going from nutrition to health, ECD, mortality, child protection, education, disability, HIV, and so on and so forth. So these surveys really allow countries to get information on a variety of topics at the same time. And these are not just traditional demographic and health survey. Of course, there is an important health and demographic component to them, but they've been conceived with the child at the center. The objective is to gather information on multiple dimensions of a child well-being and to get information on the child and the context, the family, the communities where children live. Data are collected and can be disaggregated by background characteristics of the child and the caregiver to allow for the analysis of inequalities. We talked earlier, and I really appreciate the presentation about the inequalities was delivered this morning. With this type of data, each single indicator can be disaggregated to look at disparities within countries, between boys and girls from ethnic groups and minority ethnic groups and majority of the population, across families of different socioeconomic backgrounds. So in this disaggregation is possible not only at the child level but also at the family level. Rich family versus poor family, family living in remote areas versus family living in urban settings. So it's allowed for analytically to really look at the child disparity across countries, because these are standardized measures that have been tested cross-nationally, but also within countries. And with DHS, with the demographic and health surveys that are going to be mentioned tomorrow with Sunita's presentation, multiple indicator cluster survey represent the largest sources of data on the well-being of children and their families in low and middle income countries. 5 rounds of surveys being conducted since their inception in 1995, so different rounds, approximately every 5 years. And as you can see, they were linked to major international goals. The most recent round of survey is the Mix5, what we call the Mix5 survey. They are currently ongoing. They will be able to produce data for more than 40 countries, and they're going to be key sources of data, not only to assess the MDG and to see whether countries have reached the Millennium Development Goals, but they're going to be essential to set baseline for post-2015. And for most countries, we are going to have already data that have been collected throughout the years since 1995 for topics that are currently not the MDGs. So we are going to be able to say data have been collected in ECD for ECD indicators. And UNICEF and partners are going to be able to support the collection in the future. So monitoring ECD indicators is possible because it has been done already. So it's going to be very important from the post-MDG discussion. These are the countries where a mixed survey has taken place since the inception. So this is since 1995. Mixed survey has been conducted in more than 100 low and middle income countries, and more than 240 surveys have been collected. These are nationally representative surveys, statistically sound, and you can see it covers most of the countries for which we had said earlier we don't have enough research and enough evidence. So from very small country to large country, countries in war, countries that are recovering from past emergencies, so on and so forth. In some of these countries, mixed survey are the only source of statistical data on children. These show the variety of topics that are currently covered in mixed surveys, and I highlighted in black some indicators and topics you might find particularly relevant for the discussion we had today. Although for me, from the early childhood development standpoint, probably all of them are relevant. But I just would like to highlight some of the topics that are for which currently the data are collected in a mixed survey, from specific early childhood development indicators that I will present later, to measure about breastfeeding, anthropometry. We collect information on education, including preschool attendance, on violent discipline, on the experience of violent and non-violent disciplinary practice used with parents with children age 1 and above. So a very, very comprehensive way, if you want, to collect information on well-being of children. We also have a module on child functioning and disability that we are currently developing with the Washington Group on Disability Statistics. It's been tested in 10 countries so far, and we hope to be able to launch it in the next round of mix. The methodology that we use, well, first we develop the questionnaire, the data collection tools, and we do the proper development through literature review, testing, both at the cognitive level as well as the field testing level, validation, and then analysis of the properties of the tools. And these tools are developed by UNICEF in consultation with experts, interagency group. But the development of questionnaire or indicators is just one small component of a much bigger picture. Because if we develop the tools and we don't have the mechanism for the data collection, we don't provide country with technical assistance in collecting the data, these indicators are not going to be used. So it is important that when we think about indicators development, we think about how we are going to be able to support countries in collecting this data that will allow them to report on the indicators that at the international level we have agreed upon. So the implementation of the mixed survey is done by the countries. It's done by government organizations with the involvement of different ministries, with support and technical assistance from UNICEF through our network of country and regional offices. For each country, there is a mixed focal point in UNICEF, where we provide technical assistance to the government counterpart to undertake these surveys. So we do capacity building throughout the entire process because we train the National Statistical Office in survey design, in data processing, in the data collection. We assist them with the sampling. We assist them with data analysis and dissemination of the findings and writing up the reports. We don't do that. Countries do this, and we provide technical support. I would like to zoom in specifically into the ECD indicators that we cover in mix, with the understanding that, as I said earlier, there are many other indicators that are relevant to ECD that are already covered. So the first time that we started introducing ECD questions in mix was in 2000. So since then, countries have collected information in the different rounds, so we have the availability of trends data. So the first set of questions we introduced was about attendance to early childhood development education. But we constantly improve our methodology and expand it. So during the third round of mix in 2005-2006, we introduce new questions. They look at the availability of books and playthings, including toys done by kids themselves. So I was happy to hear the presentation about Zambia before. So we don't just cover about toys that are manufactured in the US. We ask about any toy built by children as well, the availability of books, the adults' engagement in learning activity with children, the interaction of the adult with children, including fathers. We look at how many children are left in the care of siblings, a point that was raised before by Jody. And then during the third round of mix in 2010, we developed an index of early childhood development that look at outcomes. These are the number of countries for which, as of today, we have released publicly data on the different ECD indicators. So the one indicator for which we have the largest number of countries with data as of today is the early childhood education attendance. But as you can see, there are an average of 50 countries, low and middle income countries, for which we have data for all the other indicators. And this is as of yesterday. In the next 6 weeks, we're going to have 20 more surveys that are going to be released because countries are now finalizing the data processing, the presentation, the results, so we're going to have a large number of new surveys coming in the next few weeks. Just to see how MIX does in terms of the other sources of data. And UNICEF has maintained global database on a large number of indicators, about 120 indicators. We maintain global databases, and we include sources coming from different surveys, not just MIX. We compile data coming from MIX, DHS, RHS surveys, LSMS. Depending on the indicators, we also rely on administrative data. We do a process of, obviously, quality check. But we maintain global database from different sources. And these show what type of data sources we have for 3 core indicators: underweight, child discipline, and ECD. You can see for underweight, it's really, the situation is split. We have mixed survey, but we have also an important number of DHS surveys in our database. And other survey, 42 actually, out of the total of 80 plus, comes from other sources. But when it comes to child discipline, and most importantly ECD, mixed survey as a leading source of data because other sources do not cover these topics in a standardized manner. In the last 3 minutes and 28 seconds, I would like to provide an overview of some of the data. And I apologize, it's going to be rushed, it's going to be quite superficial, but UNICEF is going to be releasing a major ECD report next year that will have in-depth analysis of all the data that we collected so far. Just I want to tease a little bit your interest and show you some of the statistics. These are the proportion of children, 36 to 59 months, so children below the age of 5, who attend some form of early childhood development program. As you can see, we have countries here, about 50 countries are displayed. You can see most of the country, less than half of children are actually attending some form of early childhood education program. And there are huge disparities, not only across countries, but also within countries. If you look at the weighted average in terms of preschool attendance for the poorest 20 quintile of the population, only 6% of children are attending some form of ECE, compared to 25% of children in the richest quintile. The disadvantage of poor children is also visible in terms of the material that they have at home for learning. These graphs show the percentage of children under 5, so 0 to 4, so under 5, for which there are 3 or more children's books available in the homes. And again, every sort of book for children. And as you can see, some countries have very low levels overall. But even in countries where the levels are high, there are huge disparities between the richest poor and the poorest, the richest children and the poorest children when it comes to the availability of books. So children are at a disadvantage in terms of education attendance, but also availability of learning material in the house. UNICEF has developed, as I was saying, during the 4th round of mix, a measurement of early childhood development. And you have this brochure that is available outside, together with this publication. You can pick it up and explain how we develop this early childhood development index that measure whether our children are developmentally on track on 4 different domains. Then we have an aggregate measure that give you a sense of the percentage of children who are developmentally on track overall based on these 4 different domains. And these are the data that we have. This is a subset of countries. As you can see, most countries, more than half of children are developmentally on track according to this measure. Obviously, as you can see, the low spectrum, there are countries like Chad, Sierra Leone, Mali, Central African Republic, Congo, Cameroon. But here again, when we look at the disaggregation by level of wealth, we can see that there are huge disparities. In Nigeria, for instance, children from the richest 20% of the population who are displayed here in purple are twice more likely to be developmentally on track than children from the lowest quintile, and the same can be seen across countries, including those countries where you have higher proportion of children overall that are developmentally on track. And this is a disaggregation by domain. So we said there are 4 domains. We can isolate these 4 domains to see where children are lacking behind. And as you can see from this graph, literacy and numeracy, which is one of the 4 domains, is where children are, in a way, falling apart. This is the domain where the majority of children are actually not on track. They are unable to identify letters, numbers, so on and so forth. And when it comes to physical domain, on the other end, most of children are developmentally on track across a variety of countries. And this completes my presentation, but again, you will find a little bit more information on what we do and the type of data that we have in the publication that are available outside. Thank you.
Well, really